Fallout 4 has 70 base perks, and sometimes some of these perks are overlooked, but they can transform your gameplay once you unlock their full potential. In this video, I have listed 10 underrated perks you're probably ignoring and why you shouldn't. Hi, I'm Mo and I'm trapped in Fallout. Number 1. Lone Wanderer. This perk is found in the charisma tree and can be accessed if you have a charisma level of 3 or more. At rank 1, when adventuring without a companion, you will take 15% less damage and your carry weight will increase by 50. At rank 2, you will take 30% less damage and your carry weight will increase by 100. And at rank 3, you will do an increased amount of damage by 25%. So, with all of these great benefits, why would someone not want to take this perk? Well, the catch is that you only get these benefits when you are not traveling with a companion, and chances are that during early game you probably will want to travel with a companion for either story benefits or for the perks that they give you or for just general fire support. However, with that said, this restriction does not apply to one very specific companion, Dogmeat. If you happen to have Dogmeat with you, then you still retain the benefits of this perk. So the verdict is that you really should consider taking this perk early in the game. It provides you with both a defense bonus as well as a damage, and it also increases your carry weight. Once you are traveling with companions, albeit the effects are turned off, but chances are in the long run you will not be traveling with companions anyway, and you will still be able to get the benefits. This is one of those few perks that are overlooked in favor of traveling with companions, but given that you will not be traveling with companions throughout your entire gameplay, this perk is 100% worth getting. Number 2. Action Boy, Action Girl. This perk is found in the agility tree and can be accessed if you have an agility of 5 or more. This perk has 3 ranks. With each rank, your action points will refresh a little bit quicker. How quickly your action points refresh plays a big part in how quickly you can run again after depleting your action points and how quickly you can jump back into using VATS. That said, why would anyone want to ignore this perk? Well, most times players would probably prioritize damage dealing perks over ease of being able to run again or using VATS based perks. The reason why this is an important perk to get and can definitely help if you achieve all the ranks is that this perk will help you to pull off more VATS based action more frequently. It will also allow you to run for longer and run for further away, and this also particularly helps when using melee based builds. So this is another perk that is somewhat overlooked because of other perks that you may want to get instead that favor, as said, more damage or more defense. But the reality is, if you do happen to have this perk fully kitted out, this will actually help you to refresh your AP points much more frequently, and in turn will help you to pull off better attacks in melee, to be able to run faster for longer, and to be able to use VATS more frequently. Number 3. Cap Collector. This is another charisma perk and is available in any build given that you need a charisma level of just 1 to use this perk. This perk has a number of ranks and each rank allows you to get better prices at vendors. It also allows you to invest 500 of your own caps in favor of increasing the vendor's buying capacity. Chances are you're ignoring this perk because barter is probably one of the few things you think least about when it comes to building up your character or deciding on your playstyle. However, over time, this perk can help you to save a lot on caps and effectively grants you access to higher level weapons and armor, given that you will have more caps to play with when purchasing items through vendors. In survival mode, for instance, having ranks in these perks will help you to stack up more on food, ammo, and other general aid items. As said, this perk is probably being ignored by many players, but the reality is having access to this perk early enough, especially in something like survival mode, will actually give you access to more items that you otherwise would have missed out on. Number 4. Local Leader. This is yet another perk that is found in the charisma tree and can be accessed once you have a charisma level of 6 or more. The Local Leader perk only has 2 ranks. The first will allow you to establish supply lines between your settlements, and the second will allow you to set up trading stands lands in your settlements. Let's face it, not everyone wants to build settlements in Fallout 4, and that's probably the prime reason not to get this perk. However, having a link between settlements will go a long way in helping you to manage resources to build settlements. Even if you decide not to build any settlements, having the ability to set up shops across any of your many settlements simply gives you more access to more vendors, again making it a lifesaver, especially when you're playing on survival mode. In survival mode, you will actually find yourself in situations where you will be running very low on stock and vendors won't readily be available to you. However, if you happen to have a number of settlements around you with vendors that you have set up, chances are you will find it significantly more easier to get access to those restock options. Number 5. Scrapper. This perk is found in the intelligence tree and can be accessed if you have an intelligence level of 5 or more. With each rank in the Scrapper perk, you will get a higher chance of salvaging rare resources such as screws, copper, fiber optics when scrapping weapons and armor. Early on in the game, chances are that you're not too familiar yet with just how rare some of these resources can be, again as mentioned, such as screw and fiber optics, but by the time you do, you will find yourself making multiple trips to vendors to try and gather these resources. However, with this perk, when scrapping all of those unwanted weapons and armor, you will find yourself with an overstock of these rare items. This perk is 100% worth getting simply because of just how easy you will find finding all of these rare resources that otherwise without the perk you really will have to make a number of visits to vendors to find them. Number 6. Nerd Rage. This perk is found at the bottom of the intelligence tree and can be accessed if you have an intelligence level of 10. With rank 1 of the Nerd Rage, when your health drops below 20%, you will gain plus 20 to your damage resistance and you will do 20% more damage. This is increased to 30% with rank 2 and then 40% in rank 3. This perk also slows down time around you, giving you the ability to assess your surroundings and make some pretty comfortable decisions in what would otherwise be a time-consuming sensitive moment. Most players tend to ensure that their health always stays at a healthy level and a positive level, i.e. chances are players avoid letting their health drop down to dangerous level where the next hit may actually end up taking them out, and it is because of this reason chances are that most players are avoiding getting the Nerd Rage perk. However, the benefits of these perks are actually very good and very life-saving. Allowing your health to drop below 20% will suddenly give you a big boost to your defense, your offensive ability, and also slows down time around you. This combination of increased defense and attack paired with slowed down time will give you a rather good edge to jump around your immediate surroundings, taking out pretty much all of your enemies one by one. Number 7. Better Criticals. This is a luck-based perk and can be accessed if you have a luck of 6 or more. With high ranks in this perk, you will deal up to 2.5 times more damage when landing critical hits on your enemy. Chances are players tend to favor fixed perks that outright increase the amount of damage you do, such as Bloody Mess, or perks based on weapon type to gain more consistent damage boost. However, this perk will grant you the ability to deal significantly more damage whenever you land a critical hit. This perk should not be overlooked and should be accessed early, especially if you're playing a VATS-based build where landing critical hits in VATS is very common ground. Number 8. Chemist. You get access to this perk in the intelligence tree if you have an intelligence level of 7 or more. With each rank in the Chemist perk, when using chems, they will last significantly longer, all the way up to twice as long. This helps you to retain the effects of chems for much longer effectively. Most players avoid using chems altogether due to its negative connotations, the addiction effects that chems cause, or also for role-playing purposes. However, chems in Fallout 4 are a great source for an immediate temporary boost to a number of stats, and having ranks in this perk will allow you to retain these bonuses for much longer. In a way, using this perk effectively doubles the duration of the effect last and can be used in the heat of battle to pave the way to somewhat of a positive outcome. Number 9. Scrounger. This is another luck-based perk and can be accessed if you have a luck level of 2 or more. With each rank in the Scrounger perk, you will have a much higher chance of finding more ammunition in containers. Many players will make the assumption that that as you play Fallout 4, you will encounter enough containers that will have enough of the ammo you want. But the reality is that as you decide to use more late game based weapons, you may find that their ammo type is rather rare, and in that case most of the ammo you will need will probably be more likely to come from vendors than containers, simply because rare ammo is more difficult to come by in containers. However, with ranks in this perk, you will continue to find again the same type of ammo, but just simply more of it, therefore increasing your chances of finding more ammo of the one that you actually need. Over time, you can use the benefits of this perk to gain again more ammo, and any that you don't need. Given that you will have enough of a surplus, you can always trade them in with vendors to get the ammo that you want. The Scrounger perk is an excellent perk to get that is almost always overlooked, simply because of what it does, and it doesn't provide an immediate effect or an immediate benefit, but in the long run it will help you to stock up on the ammo you want and also allow you to trade any ammo you get that you don't need with the ones that you do. Number 10, Refractor. This perk is found in the perception tree and can be accessed if you have a perception level of 7 or more. Each rank of the Refractor perk grants increasingly more energy resistance against energy based attack. By the time you get the last rank in this perk, you would have gained an additional 50 to your energy resistance. Now, chances are during early game you won't really notice even if you had any ranks in this perk, simply because there really aren't that many enemies around using energy based weapons. However, as you start to play the game and you encounter either the Brotherhood of Steel or the Institute, you will notice that they will start to carry a lot more energy based weapons, and in that case having your energy resistance much higher will help you to fend off such attacks from such type of NPCs. The Refractor perk is a great perk to have much later in the game, but again it is usually overlooked simply because by the time you get to that state you tend to rely on the skills you have gained, the perks you're already using, and the armor you're wearing. But the reality is, if you have such ranks in the Refractor perk, it will help you to be able to defend against such type of attacks. Chances are that you may not have selected some of the perks listed in this video as your first choice perk, but they all have really good potential depending on your playstyle. They can help regardless if you're focusing on settlement building, being combat efficient, or playing on any difficult game modes. That said, why not click on the video you see on the screen right now, where I will rank all the companion perks in Fallout 4 from worst to best. Click on the video you see on the screen right now and I will show you what companion perks to focus your initial efforts on versus ones which you may want to ignore entirely.